Natasha here with Seeds of Hope. Today we're going to be making a kokedama. I got this idea from this book that I have called Gather and Make, and it's a plant-based activities book that goes throughout the 12 months. I use it a lot with my therapeutic gardening activities and classes. It comes with trivia. It comes with kind of like historical facts and different things like that. So it's really great. And they have kokedamas. Kokedama, or moss ball, is a Japanese form of bonsai that is suspended in the air from string. You can use indoor or outdoor plants depending on where you're going to be putting the kokedama. You can suspend it with string, or you can put it on a decorative dish or in a glass vase to make it look like it's suspended. And then we'll go over the water requirements, but they're pretty easy. You usually just water once a week, but I'll kind of give you a little bit more of a visual. So this is what we're going to be trying to make today. I can show you the two plants I have. They're both indoor plants, and I'll probably maybe put them in the kitchen. I think I kind of want to try this one. Usually I've heard some people say that succulents are kind of, sometimes they work, sometimes maybe not. So I would stick to houseplants, or ferns are really great for kokedama. But yeah, so we're going to try to make one of these. I've watched a couple of videos. It looks a little straightforward, but there's a couple tricky steps, so we'll see if we can do it. So for the book, it says to use bonsai soil and peat moss, like a mixture. I did not have that, so I'm just going to try using regular potting soil, and we're going to see if it works. So you want to get a big enough bowl where you can get a good amount of soil in there. We'll start with that. I have more just in case, but you want to try to make, you know, the soil ball, you know, slightly bigger than the actual plant. This is a 4-inch pot, and I thought smaller pots, it'll be easier to kind of like build soil around it rather than getting like a larger container, and that seems a little daunting. So 4-inch felt good. You can even get smaller ones if you want to try a little smaller kokedama. So the best way to do it is put it in a bowl, and then you just want to add water. And you kind of want to add enough to really get the soil to stick, because you kind of need it to stick to itself and then start to stick around the plant once you put it around the plant. So, and I don't know, potting soil may or may not be the best choice. So it's definitely, like, you see the water coming out, which is not bad. So you want to start building up the ball, and I'm just going to keep smushing soil together. And of course, this is messy. I have like a little tarp down on my table, but if you have like a little outdoor space, probably a good place to do it. Okay. I do think if you used peat moss, it would bind really nicely. But this feels like it's working too. This is what I had available, so we're gonna see if it works. I'm just gonna keep building it up. Ooh. And the good thing about this is that because it's so wet, you know, it'll be ready when we put it around the plant. We won't need to like submerge it. Sorry, there's all kinds of things going on. Okay. Maybe? That's pretty big. Let me, I feel like we need to go a little bit bigger. I'm gonna set this ball gently aside and add a little bit more dry soil to here so we can make it a little bit bigger. Let's add a little bit more to our little soil ball. Ooh. I also think too, once we get the plant in here, if you want to build it up around the plant once it's in there, you can do that too. Holy moly. I mean, I feel like that looks... Let's start with this, and we'll start kind of putting it around the plant. I'm going to gently put it down so it's still kind of in its little ball shape. And now you want to take your plant, I'm going to just loosen it up. So you kind of want to get rid of some of the soil. You don't want to start like pulling the roots apart too much. You just want to expose them a little bit and then just make this root system a little less covered so you're not having to do too much in covering it up. And you can probably use the soil again, kind of put it around the Kokedama. So yeah, even maybe do a little bit more. But I'm trying to be pretty gentle. I don't want to go nuts. Okay, so now I'm going to just put this aside because we're going to go back to the soil ball. This is the tricky part. This is what I saw. So the woman that I watched the video, she kind of cracked it open like that. Okay, so she cracked it open. Let me see if I can move this down a bit so you can see. Just getting everything dirty. Okay, so cracked it open, and then you kind of just put it on one side of one of the halves, put it on the other, and then you kind of just smush. And you kind of just smush, smush, smush. It's gonna fall apart a little bit, but you just kind of keep smushing. And then anything that drops off, like the entire part that you're not holding on to, you just kind of work it back into a ball. And you just use your hands to firm it. Ooh, this is fun. It really helps test your patience. Also, if you are okay with getting dirt all over your floor, which, I mean, we all knew that was a part of my life. Okay, so now it's starting to stick. Again, if you used peat moss, it would probably stay a little bit better, but I'm feeling okay with this. I'm just gonna keep smushing and pressing. Smushing and pressing. But you can kind of see like it's starting to be more spherical, more round. It really is just kind of a process building up the soil. Okay, so I feel okay about this. I think too, once I kind of start getting the moss around the soil, it'll all just kind of help secure it. But I feel that's pretty good. It's a good little soil ball. So I'm gonna gently place this in a little glass bowl that I have. So the next thing we need to do is wrap moss around the soil, and that will just keep the soil nice and hydrated while it's hanging. It also just makes it look really pretty. So I got my moss at my local nursery. It just comes in a bag. I'll show you. It's a little expensive, but these Kokedama should last like 2 to 3 years before you might have to like transplant them. They get too big. So I thought it was a good investment, and I can probably make 2 or 3 Kokedamas out of this one bag of moss. So I pre-soaked my moss because, you know, the more I can hydrate things, the less I'm gonna have to water right away. I can wait until like the first week to water. So they come in pretty good sheets. That's a pretty good sheet. And you kind of want them to be in bigger sheets because then it's easier to wrap around your Kokedama. So I'm gonna lay the green part down because you want that part showing. And I'm just gonna create a little carpet for my Kokedama to sit in, and I'll try to show you. So I'm just gonna like lay it out. And then I have a little bit more in the bowl if I need to add more. And I'm just gonna preemptively get some of my twine ready. So this is the twine that I'm using. Some people use black wax twine if you don't want to have to see the twine, but I kind of like it visible. So I'm just gonna get a couple pieces ready because I'm just not sure how well everything's gonna kind of stick together. So I might need a couple of pieces just right out the gate. And then I'll just leave that here just in case I need it. So, okay, here we go. I'm so nervous. Here's my little Kokedama. Beep. Just set it right in the middle. Doing a great job. Oh my gosh. This is so weird. I've never done this before. Some of these pieces feel really thick, and I'm worried that's gonna be too much. So I'm just kind of gathering it around and also pressing. So I'll show this side. I think some of these are too big, guys. This is like, okay, oh, there we go. That feels better. Okay, okay. All right, press, press, press. I'm gonna lift it up, see what's happening underneath here. Okay, I'm just pressing, kind of rotating it in my hands. Got a little spot there I can fill. So even though these are in pieces, it's gonna be okay because I'm gonna secure everything with wire in a minute. Wow, this is very spongy. Let's see if I have a smaller piece I can just add. Wow, look at this. It's like its own okay. Okay, I'm kind of just moving and shaping it as best I can. So, once you kind of get the shape that you're looking for, or when you just can't seem to kind of get it to any other point than what you're working with, which I feel like is where I'm at. Stuff as well. The bottom looks actually pretty good. I might not need that extra piece. So I'm just gonna take, so I feel like that's as spherical or as round as I'm gonna be able to get it, which I'm okay with, you know. I rarely find perfection in gardening, so it's okay for it to be a little wonky. So I'm just gonna hold the string with one finger and start kind of wrapping. This specific piece is a little short, so, but I feel like just getting one piece on here will at least secure some of the moss so that I can go in with more. Okay. Ooh, I'm excited about this. Oh, this is, okay. This feels more like a Kokedama. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna use, well, I have this one more cut piece. I think I'm gonna just maybe go around the top one more time or just secure it. And you can cut the little tails off of this so they don't show at the very end, or you can, you can do it now just so you don't have little pieces hanging out. But I think I'm just going to secure it on one side, and then I'm going to hold it in one hand and then use my string to kind of start wrapping and securing it. Which I kind of like seeing the string. I don't know, that's just me. But if you use like black string or even green string, you know, you won't see it. But I've seen them both ways, and I kind of like seeing the string. Ooh, this is so fun. So again, you can like leave it like this and put it on a decorative tray. I think I'm gonna try to make mine suspended, but I also wanna make sure that there's enough string to kind of secure it before I add little hanging string. Okay, this is feeling good. Oh wow, it's a hefty little ball. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut it. I'm just gonna find another string and then tie it off. There we go. And then you can kind of shape it now that it feels a little bit more secure. I know, look at that. Ooh. Okay, so if you want to hang it up, you just want to find 3 points, so 3 strings that are already spun around the plant, and just attach them, tie them off, and then you can tie all 3 together at the top. So I just put it right there, and now, okay. So the watering requirements will depend on where your kokedama is. Mine's gonna be indoors, so it's not gonna get direct sun, it's not gonna be outside where it can dry out quickly. So I could probably water this once a week. What you do is you can get a bucket or a bowl, you submerge it. One place said for 5 minutes, this book says for 20. Right now, this is well watered and it's got a nice heft to it. It feels heavy. If it starts to feel light, you know that it's time to water. I would say, you know, start anywhere between, so maybe let's just say 10 minutes. I don't know. I've never made one of these before. I'm going to experiment. One place said 5 minutes once a week. The other book said 20 minutes once a week. But you want to submerge it once a week, then you can let it kind of drip dry next to the sink, and then you can hang it back up. So mine is ready to hang. It's an indoor plant. I'll probably put it in the kitchen somewhere. But look at that. That's so cool. So I have another one. I'm gonna do the other one. But yeah, how fun. And again, just, you know the requirements of whatever plant you buy. If it's an outdoor plant, you can put it outdoors, but know that it will dry out quicker. So you'll probably have to submerge it maybe twice a week instead of just once a week. So how fun. I feel very proud of my little kokedama. So, all right, well, thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun, and I hope you can now start experimenting with your own kokedamas. All right, well, have a good day, everyone.